Hey, this is Kaufman is Alive YouTube channel. I look at comic books new and old. Today I'm looking at a new comic book, The Ultimates #1 by Marvel Comics. I got the Bryan Hitch variant cover. I really like this cover. Bryan Hitch has a good style. I like how you don't know who the other three Ultimates are going to be here. We've got Captain America, Iron Lad, and Thor. And I like this cover. It stays within the aesthetic of a lot of the Ultimate Universe comics and Ultimate Invasion comics I've seen so far. Bryan Hitch was on artwork on all those, so I like this cover a lot. He's not on the interiors though. Juan Frigeri is on the interiors, and Dennis Camp is the writer here. And it's a good team. I like the artwork in here, and I like the writing a lot as well. Shot here of the terrorist attack that we saw in the Ultimate Universe one shot, where Tony Stark is blamed for blowing up his own tower, basically. The Illuminati is in charge of all government and media, so they've been able to control the narrative. But the Maker's been locked up in his city, and he'll be there for the next 18 months. So that's giving Tony Stark here and the Ultimates time to figure out a plan to try and put the 6160, which is what it's called here, put it back to how it used to be, which is the 616. So that's their ultimate goal. That's the main overarching plot of this Ultimate line. But when the terrorist attack occurred, they were able to shoot 6 months into the future using the Immortus engine. So Tony Stark lays it all out right here. He says, I know it doesn't look good. To review, we've escaped 6 months into the future. Thousands died in the attack on Stark Tower meant for us. The perpetrators of that attack, a conspiracy of the worst and most powerful people imaginable, have taken control of both the planet and the narrative. The world thinks we're violent terrorists. So he sounds like a crazy conspiracy theorist right here, but, you know, as we know by reading the story, he's actually true. And we've already got Captain America in ice. We've got Thor, who's injured here. He was wounded in their last battle with Captain Britain. And this version of Doom is actually a corrupted Reed Richards. But he's working against a more corrupt Reed Richards in the Maker. As you know, he's figured out that there is a 616 that did exist at one time, and they're trying to put it back together, which is what this is all about. They actually see images of the original 616, the Fantastic Four, the Hulk, and they're figuring out their plans here on the chalkboard. They're going to call it Ultimates 1.0. And what they're going to do is use the Immortus engine to try and go back in time and show all these people that they were heroes. So, for instance, they're going to go and try and find the Sam Wilson of the 6160 and show him that in the 616 he's actually a hero. Which in Ultimate Spider-Man, if you've been reading that, is exactly what happened to Peter Parker. Tony Stark showed up, showed him that he was Spider-Man in another universe, and he decided to take him up on his offer and become Spider-Man. While they're figuring out how to travel through time and do this, he also is able to unlock Captain America from the ice. And Captain America is telling him that I don't think it's going to work, this plan to go back in time, give these people their origins. And we find out that it doesn't seem to work. There's only one or two people that took to it. Spider-Man that we saw, and apparently Captain Marvel, who we have not seen in this universe yet. We see Hawkeye in like a shot, kind of like the Spider-Man No More cover. He's walking away. He's got the Hawkeye outfit and the trash can there. But like on the cover, we don't know who these other Ultimates are going to be, so it looks like I skipped ahead a little bit here, but then we get this side story here of this is Hank and Janet Pym, and they're exterminators in this universe. But Hank says he's been having some nightmares about ants Janet says she was actually having some dreams about how their furniture was way bigger than what it really is. And this restaurant owner wants him to exterminate the who's ever been eating his food in his cellar. We find out it's these moloids. And we get a little allegory to racism here. As Hank says, in this universe, it's totally legal to just kill moloids, but they have a culture, they have family, so Hank and Janet are completely against it, so we get a taste of their moral character here. But Iron Man shows up, or Iron Lad, I should say, as he goes by in this universe, and he says we need to talk, but they just keep driving, so Thor uses his hammer to smash their car. And we see that in like the back seat, the Origin machine is actually activated, and we see this hologram of Tony Stark start talking to them. It says hello, talking to Henry Pym and Janet Van Dyne. So we find out there that Hank's had this thing for a while and he hasn't told Janet. And we learn that Hank is really unsure of himself. He thinks he's just a big loser and a failure, and he doesn't deserve Janet. And right as they're about to figure out what they're going to do, are they going to become heroes or not, they get attacked by Captain Britain and his army. So we get a battle here. A nicely written issue here. It's well paced. Really easy to read, really fun. Janet gets the suit. She decides that was amazing. It's really fun. And Hank still doesn't know what to decide, as Captain America's like slaughtering bad guys. He's trying to have a conversation with Hank about what he should do in kind of a cartoony moment. We see Janet, she flies right through the head of this guy, and she's like covered in blood and brain matter. And Iron Man is Iron Lad. I keep saying Iron Man, but it's Iron Lad. He's getting trounced here by Captain Britain. Britain puts the boot on him. But Tony uses his repulsor rockets to shoot away. He says, we have boots too. And we see the first appearance of Giant Man as this big giant boot squashes the entire army. Really cool moment. It says a good first step. And we see the imprint, like the Ultimates symbol on the shoe there. I really like that. A statement you can see from space. So they're sending a message to the Illuminati. And it's an announcement, but what is it announcing? And we get Iron Lad here saying, I think it says, the Ultimates are here and we're going to leave a mark. And instead of to be concluded, it says 17 months remaining. And we get a final page of Tony. He's writing a letter to his dad. And of course we get a map of what the world looks like now. I love how Hickman is actually credited in the credits here for the map. It says map, Jonathan Hickman. So weird. But he's got to get his credits in here somehow, I'm assuming. And that's it. That's the whole issue. So I really enjoyed this issue. Ultimates #1. Let me know what you think. Have you been reading Ultimates? You've been reading the new Ultimate line? I've got some reviews of the Ultimate Universe one-shot and Ultimate Spider-Man up on my channel, so go check those out if you haven't. And thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you on the next video.